CWHL as Montreal comes into the game with a 6-1-1 record. That is 1 point better than the Boston Blades, who are 6-2 in regular season competition. The Stars' lone regulation loss came to the hands of the Boston Blades back on Saturday, November the 9th. A 2-1 defeat at the hands of the Blades as Brittany Ott made 31 saves to get the win in just under 31 minutes of work in the contest. Catherine Heron took the loss, giving up 2 goals on 18 shots in 59 minutes and 2 seconds of work in that contest. Of note, Montreal outshot Boston 23-2 in the final 40 minutes of play in the game and outshot the Boston team 52-18 on the contest. Fast forward to the most recent outings. The Stars swept Calgary in a 3-game weekend series back at the beginning of December. They were supposed to play a pair of games in Toronto but against the Fury, but those 2 games were postponed due to the ice and snowstorm that occurred on the 19th and 20th of December. So those 2 games will be made up a little bit later on this winter. The makeup dates for that game, those games, have not been announced. So the Stars taking on Boston here this afternoon at the Arena Etienne Desmarteaux. A big weekend for the Stars. Tomorrow they will take part in the Montreal Canadiens' annual Skate with the Habs, and we'll be speaking with Ann-Sophie in the first intermission of tonight's game about that particular initiative. It's time to meet the starting lineups in today's game. And we are going to begin with the visiting Boston Blades. Getting the call up front in goal today is number 31, Brittany Ott, the first-year, 5th-round draft pick for the Blades. She is 4-0 with a 1.70 goals against average and a .957 save percentage. On the blue line, it will be Blake Bolden, the first pick overall for Boston in last year's CWHL draft, as well as Drew Burns, an 11th rounder out of Boston University. Up front, it will be Kelly Cook with Jill Cardella, who is the leading point getter for Boston with 10 points and 7 assists on the season, and Casey Pickett, who is a 3rd rounder and a pure goal scorer. She has 7 tallies on the season for Boston. Now let's meet the starting lineup for the hometown Montreal Stars. Getting the call between the pipes today, once again, Catherine Heron. She is 4-1 on the season. The lone loss coming at the hands of Boston back on the 9th of November. Heron, a former member of the Caravane de l'Université de Montréal. She, this season, has, as I mentioned, 4-0 with a 1.40 goals against average and a .936 save percentage. On the blue line, a pair of former Martlets, the captain, Kathy Chartrand and Carly Hill. And up front, continuing the McGill connection, it will be Sarah Dagenet on the line with Ann-Sophie Bate and Vanessa Davidson. So there's your starting lineups for today's game here at the Desmarteaux Arena. Big news this past week, the U.S. Olympic team was named, and there are 8 former members of the CWHL who will be headlining Team USA going to the Sochi Olympics. And we'll talk about Team Canada in a few moments' time. But first, let's pause for the playing of the national anthem. It's time for the CWHL Game of the Week on SSN. Hello again, everyone. John Bauer in the broadcast booth today as the Montreal Stars host the Boston Blades in a rematch of last year's CWHL Championship game and a battle for top spot in the circuit this evening. The third team on the ice today is led by referees Denise Cahy and Gabrielle Ariano-Lortie. The linespersons are Anne-Marie Berube and Joël Champoux-Perron. So that's the three teams in today's game. A reminder that the starting goaltenders are Brittany Ott, 4-0 for Boston, and Catherine Herron, who is 4-1 for the Stars. The Stars riding a three-game win streak, shutting out Calgary 3-0 on December the 14th, 5-2 on the 15th, and on school day in front of hundreds of school children on Monday, December the 16th, an 11 a.m. game. That was a 4-2 win. Boston, they took 2 out of 3 against Calgary back at the end of November, 6-5 win, a 5-2 win over the Inferno before losing 2-1. And in that particular game, Calgary scored twice. Daniela Stone and Taryn Peacock put the visitors out to a 2-0 lead before Pickett cut the lead to 2-1, and that's where it ended. Cathy Desjardins making 36 saves in that game for the win for Calgary. Elsewhere in the CWHL tonight, beginning in about 2 hours' time, the Brampton Thunder will be hosting the Toronto Fury will be hosting the Brampton Thunder in the first of a home-and-home series. We are underway. Glad you're along with us here on SSN. Off the face-off, Boston has it in their own zone. Burns gives and goes with Blake Bolden. She's flushed back deep in her own zone, and with it now is Drew Burns. She'll play it up the near boards for Pickett. Pickett forced back by Bette. And now Boston will move the puck up the far side. Chipping it off the boards is Kelly Cook. She can't get it out. Here is Davidson, left side. Davidson with a wrist shot in on goal. First save of the game for Ott. Puck rolls over to the near corner now, where Bette battling in along there with her teammate Davidson. Puck locked up against the boards, and now Bolden will poke it free. Over to the far side for Cardella. Jill Cardella locked up against the boards there. She's battling with Bette. Cardella comes up with the puck, and she'll sweep it to the blue line. Intercepted there by Hill. Over to Chartrand, left point. Cathy Chartrand with a shot through traffic, and Ott goes down into the butterfly and will hold on for the first stop. 19:02 remaining in period number 1. Taking a look there at Ott, the top goalkeeper in the circuit so far this season with an unblemished 4-0 record, a fifth-round draft pick, for the Blades. Tardif off the faceoff, takes a shot at pinballs off of Thibault and rolls in on Ott. Puck comes over to the near wall. Dupree drops it back there for Thibault. Thibault brings it to the blue line. We'll sweep it back to the half wall there. Give and go with Provo. Back to Thibault. She loses the puck, and here comes Boston on the counterattack. Lienz in over the line, takes a shot, kick save there by Herron as the puck comes over to the near side in the Montreal zone, and Marie-Ève Provost, the former Moncton player, will bring the puck out to center. Cotterill goes left side, up the middle actually there for Lienz, but she had to wait for her teammates to get onside. Provost now on the counterattack for Montreal, plays the puck into the right wing corner, and the Stars will go for a line change as we approach the 2-minute mark of period number 1. Blind backhand pass up the middle, almost intercepted there by Defarge, as Prudé-Perret is back in her own zone for Montreal. On the left side for Deschênes. In over the line, here is Blais. Blais goes wide around Bolden. Blais behind the net, over to the far side. Loses a handle on it as Bolden got the stick out on Bolden's stick and was able to knock the puck into the corner. Wolfeiler comes over to the near side. Now curling back is Cotterill as she looks for some safety. And she'll make the pass up the far side. And it's cleared out to center by Boston. We have played 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the opening period. 3-1 of the shots on goal in favor of Montreal. Thibault in over the line on the right side. She can't get a shot away as she was forced into check there by Battagliano. And now the puck is rolled down the ice. Chartrand gives chase. No icing on the play as it's waved off. Chartrand, the captain, plays it to Dumais, who gives it back to Chartrand. She'll lift it out to center ice. Settling the disc down there is Drew Burns for Boston. Up the left side for Battaglino. And Chartrand now will start the rush up for the Stars. Head full of steam on the right wing side, gains center. and she cuts over to the near side, hits Thibault in the skate. So Montreal has to tag up onto the late offside. That allows Boston to bring the puck back out to center. Cardella tries to catch up to a long lead pass up the left side. That doesn't work as Hill comes up with it in her own zone. Comes out from behind the net, starts to rush up on the near side. She's stick checked at center by Pickett, and away with it is Cardella, the leading point getter for Boston. Pickett in the middle line, fakes the shot, now goes low, takes the shot, and it is stopped by Heron, and then it rolls across the goal line, and it's picked up by Hill, and it cleared ahead to Davidson. Davidson over the left side for Dagenet. Burns intercepts, and now it will be clear to the far boards. Bette, fresh set of skates on the ice, can't keep the puck in as it pinballs out to center. Vinny Davidson gives it to Bette up the middle. Burns with a poke check there, and that stopped Bette from going in all alone towards the goal. Tardif pinches, and Pickett comes up with it, tries to go with a pass cross ice for Dempsey. It hits a skate, and Dempsey will be battling there at the Stars blue line. Bette comes away with it. Bette cuts to the left side, dishes for Davidson. Davidson has two players of her own going towards the net. Bette plays it over to the far side for Dagenet. Sarah Dagenet back to the line. It goes to Chetchery. Chetch with a wrist shot. Tipped in front, and it goes just wide as Bette tipped it the wrong way. Lands. Turns the puck over there. Well, actually, she doesn't, as she was being forced by Dagenet, but Dagenet couldn't put her stick on the puck, and now it's rolled in on goal as Montreal goes for a line change. Boston as well, as we approach 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the first period. Still no score in the hockey game. A showdown between the top two teams in the CWHL. Here's Dempsey in the slot. Shot stop. Rebound. Big rebound. Plum with a shot that is deflected by a diving Provo. Bolden, back at the point. Now we'll play it down to the corner. Dempsey had moved out of the corner, so Chetchery comes up with a backhand pass up the near boards for Thibault. She'll skate it to the blue line. She's stick checked there. And Dempsey has her stick lifted by Dupree. Cassandra Dupree over to the near side for Provo. Back into the slot. It's tipped in front. Puck lays loose in the crease, and bang away at it is Dupree. But Ott stands her ground and will freeze the puck. 5 minutes and 5 seconds gone by in the first period. Still no score. Boston's next home game is January 18th and 19th when they host these same Stars in a two-game weekend series. It's a 7:35 puck drop on January 18th at the Merrimack College. And then the next afternoon, 1:15, start against the Stars at the Skate 3 Arena. Tickets are available at boston.cwhl.ca or at the CWHL store at cwhl.ca. Boston brings the puck out to center, but they can't penetrate the Montreal zone, as the Stars cannot get it in deep either, as Rambo will ice the puck. And that will bring the faceoff back deep into Boston territory. And it will come to the left of Brittany Ott. The Stars' next home game is on Saturday, January the 11th, when they host the Brampton Thunder at 8:30 p.m. at l'Arena Saint-Louis in Saint-Dominique, Quebec. And on Sunday, January the 12th, they will participate in a CIS doubleheader, and we'll get to that in just a moment. It's off the faceoff. It's controlled by the Stars. Wrist shot by Wetz goes wide. Here's Bette coming out of the corner. Centering pass. Davidson with a drive, and a glove save by Ott. She'll hold on for the whistle. Great pass by the two former McGill University teammates as Bette comes from the left wing hash marks and makes a pass to Davidson, who's standing at the top of the right wing faceoff circle with a drive, which was snared by Ott. Bette controls off the faceoff. Back to Hill. Her slap shot. Pinballs in front. And it's knocked down there by Berman, the captain for Boston. She's stick checked. And now on the second attempt, Boston will clear to the line. Hill keeps it in. It goes off of Bette. Bette spins away from Cardella. But Cardella was able to come up with the puck and play it over to the near side. Bette tips it off the boards. Here's Davidson. She's got Dagenet going towards the goal. Davidson at the goal line. Behind the net she goes. Centering pass. It's in behind everybody, and Kelly Cook comes up with it, clears to the line. Hill will play it in the left wing corner as the Stars go for a line change. That will allow Boston to break this out as Emma Rambo skates it up the right wing side. She'll gain center and lift it into the Star zone. Chatron knocks it down with a high stick, and that will allow Boston to change things up as well. And a faceoff coming deep in the Star zone to the left of Catherine Heron as you take a look at the captain of the Stars, number 8, Cathy Chartrand, who up until the last three games was the leading point getter for the Stars, but that's when Sarah Vaillancourt caught fire, picking up 7 points over 3 games. She is out of the lineup today. She's coaching and therefore unable to be with the Stars this afternoon. In the offensive zone, that's Cassandra Dupree for the Stars. To Provost, Cwhl, right side. Tardif's shot is blocked aside by Ott. Spinning out of the corner is Dupree. Ott got across and blocked the lower part of the cage. Thibault now with it. Thibault battling there with Bolden. Bolden slaps it away from a couple of players, and now it will roll to the side of the net where it's locked up momentarily by Ott, but the Stars poke it free. Centering pass intended for Tardif. Comes back to her now. His shot is tipped in front, and the rebound is shot just wide by Dupree. Cwhl at the near point, keeps it in for Thibault. Thibault tries to backhand it into the far corner and hits a Blades player in front. And Marie-Ève Provost skates the blue line, but was unable to keep it in. Now a fresh set of legs in. Here's Emmanuelle Blais. She has stood up just inside the blue line. And Boston's Bolden will get the first penalty of the hockey game, a body checking call at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So Montreal goes to the power play with the second-ranked power play in the league, clipping at 24%, 12 of 50 on the season. Boston on the penalty kill. They are number 1 in the circuit. They've killed off 27 of 31 penalties for an 87.1% efficiency. 1 shorthanded goal scored this season, and that was by Pickett. And she is out there right now. Here's Pickett with the steal, but Chartrand was able to spin around and knock it away from her. But Pickett picks the puck off again. Into the line, goes wide. Pickett still on her feet, shoots! Stopped by the netminder Aron. The rebound was laying dangerously right beside the post, and Cook was unable to tuck it in. Here comes Chartrand, back the other way for the Stars. Gives it to Bette. Bette drops it to Provost. Provost in, shoots, and Ott stands tall and takes it in the chest and holds on for the whistle. 1:32 to go in the power play. So Blake Bolden, the first-round pick for Boston, is in the box for body checking. Stars' second power play unit comes out there. Davidson loses the draw. The puck is hammered off the glass, and down the ice it goes. Chartrand gives chase as she's forced back deep into her own zone by Jillian Dempsey. Dempsey stays on her, and here comes Bette now skating it up the left side to center. Bette towards the blue line. It's knocked off her stick by Wolfeiler. And now Chartrand will play it from her own blue line. Head to Provost. Provost sidesteps a check at the blue line. Provost curls and dishes off to Vinnie Davidson. She's got plenty of time as she will feather a pass across to Blais. Emmanuelle Blais, back to the line it goes for Hill. Back to Blais, left point. Top of the umbrella to Hill. Hill dishes off. Davidson, right side. Davidson, wrist shot through traffic. Ott with the stop. Big rebound comes over to the near side. Blais pinches down and plays it behind the net as the Stars go for a line change. Provo rags the puck in the corner, plays it back to the line. Pass was intended for Hill. Gives it to Tardif. Back to Hill. Top of the umbrella, left side, Blais. Back to Hill. Kiss pass. Tardif with a shot, scores! Stacey Tardif with a slap shot just under the bar, and it's 1-0 Montreal. Tardif picks up her first goal of the season. And the time of the goal is 9:02 on the power play. A power play tally for Montreal. So Tardif picks up her first goal of the season. And Montreal, 1-for-1 on the power play, leads it 1-0. Against their arch rivals. Hill should pick up an assist on the goal. Here's Bocchia into the line. Bocchia cuts wide and it cuts inside, and the puck rolls off of her stick to the corner. Cwhl now at the right point takes a shot, goes high off of the glass. Blais picking up an assist on the goal. Here's a wrist shot from the point by Cwhl, goes wide. So I think that the only assist actually is going to go to Blais on the goal. So we'll have to just confirm that in a few minutes' time as we approach the midway point of period number 1. 1-0 Montreal. Bulges the twine first on the power play. Stacey Tardif first of the campaign. Dupree back in her own zone. The former Concordia Stinger up the left side for Dagenet. Pickpocketed there at the blue line by Wolfire. And now Cook battles in the corner for Boston. Fanny Deforge, the former Ottawa Gigi, plays it back down low for her teammate Dupree. Gives it to Deforge. She loses it. Pickett, bad person to lose the puck to, and she draws a penalty as she's knocked down. Coming out of the corner, Fanny Deforge will get the gate for tripping. So Boston, who just gave up a power play goal, will go to the advantage, looking to tie things up here in period number 1. Fanny Deforge with the gate. And Deforge picks up her 4th penalty of the season. She had a couple of penalties in the Calgary series 2 weeks ago. Lanes wins the draw, back to Burns at the right point. We'll set the power play up here in a moment. Dempsey leaves the puck for Lanes down low. Back to Dempsey in the right wing corner. She'll cut inside. Now goes down low. Lanes tries to poke it in front. She does pick it. Dempsey takes a swing at it and misses. And coming up with it is Dagenet on the right side for the Stars. Shorthanded. She's got Bette in front of the goal. Montreal with 4 shorthanded tallies so far this season, as Bette will play it back to Chartrand, who comes over to Hill on the near side, and she will ice the puck as far as the Boston blue line, but Bolden intercepts. That allows Montreal to get a small line change done, and starting up the rush here is Drew Burns behind her net. Boston on the power play this season, 8 for 49, 16.3%, ranked 5th in the league. As Dempsey brings it in, takes a slap shot, goes wide. Pickett on the near side, back to the line to Burns at the right point. Burns walks across the blue line, goes to Bolden. Her shot goes wide, and off of the right side, the wrist shot by Pickett was going wide, but it was gloved by Aron, and she will hold on for the whistle. 1 minute and 1 second to go in the power play for the Bostonians. 8:32 to go in period number 1 in a 1-0 Montreal lead. So the face-off comes to the right, or to the left, of Aron. Tardif, the goal scorer, battling along the boards with Casey Pickett. The pure goal scorer, 3rd-round pick for Boston in the CWHL draft, locking the puck up along the boards there. And long enough for the referee to stop play. 44 seconds to go in the power play for Boston. As we were mentioning, there will be a CIS-CWHL doubleheader on the campus of Concordia University on January the 12th when the Brampton Thunder take on the Stars. That's a 12 o'clock game, and then the Concordia Stingers host the defending national champion Carabin de Montréal at 3 o'clock. Tickets are available at montreal.cwhl.ca. Slap shot from the point goes just wide as Rambo stepped into a drive there. Battling along the near boards, that was Emmanuel Blais. She got around the Czech and was able to force the puck all the way down the ice. 30 seconds to go in the power play here for Boston. As Berman, the captain for the Blades, starts the rush up the middle. Dishes off right side for Emma Rambo. Rambo gains the blue line, drops to Pickett. Shot just goes off of the blocker of Aron and over the bar. That was a good rising snapper. Pickett again, now with it on the right side. She steps in over the blue line, takes another shot. Kick save by Aron. And gathering the puck is Chartrand, as she will ice it as Montreal's penalty has expired. So Boston with a couple of opportunities to score on the power play to even things up, but we're stymied by the netminder Aron. Here's Blade over the line, takes the low shot, stopped by, and she puts the puck right on the stick of Davidson, who shot it wide. Pataglino plays it ahead at center, but it's broken up there by the Stars, and here comes Provo in over the line, left side, behind the net she goes. Centering past Davidson, puts her stick on it, takes a wrist shot, and it is stopped by Ott, and she will freeze the puck with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the period. It is 1-0 Montreal on the power play marker by Tardif at 9:02. Puck rolls over to the near side. Bacchia plays it behind the net. Lanes over the far side for Boston. Turns it over as she tried to go up the middle. Bacchia played it to the line, but it skips over the stick of Chartrand, who plays it back in as Montreal tags up and comes back on the forecheck. Dumais on the forecheck with Breton Lebreu. Sarah Dagenet coming out of the corner, powers it towards the goal. Ott goes down in the butterfly, and the puck was between her pads, precariously close to the goal line. She will hold on long enough for the whistle. Face-off coming to the left of Ott. Davidson taking the draw. Cardello wins it for Boston, but Davidson pokes the puck away from Cook on the far side, and juking and jiving back behind her own net is Blake Bolden. Now starting to rush up. Wolfeiler up the near side to Pickett. Pickett, a long lead pass up the left side into the offensive zone by Jillian Cardella, and it rolls right in on Herron, and she will hold it with 5:58 to go in the period. Face-off coming to the left of Herron. We have confirmation of the goal. It is Tardif from Blais at 9:02 on the power play, so that's the opening tally of the game. Davidson clears to the line. Bolden knocks it down. She'll play it to the half boards for Lane. Lane's into the slot. Broken up there by Chartrand. She will skate it out to center on the right wing side. Cathy Chartrand. She's got three other players driving towards the front of that. Chartrand takes the wrist shot short side. It hits the side of the goal. And now back the other way. Lanes for Boston. Up to Cottrell. Cottrell at center, gains the Montreal blue line, puts the brakes on. Backhand pass into the slot for Dempsey. She brings it over to the near wall. 5:30 to go in period number one. 1-0 Montreal. Here's Bette curling away in her own zone with it. She's flushed back by Berman. Bette plays it back to Hill as she'll go for a line change. Hill over to Proux-Duperret up the near side. Thibault now for Montreal. Gets it to the Boston blue line. Stood up there by Berman. And it's cleared by one of her teammates out to the far side. Montreal on the laid offside, tags up and now can go in on the attack. Thibault battling along the boards with Berman behind the Boston net. Thibault loses the handle on it. Battaglino will play the puck down the ice, far enough for an icing with 4:46 to go in period number one. Friends, the Boston Blades have an honorary captain's program, including mini games, private locker room meet and greets, preferred autograph session line, discount prices for the purchase of 20 or more tickets, public service announcements for your program, and a 10% discount on team merchandise. For more information, contact Coach Digit Murphy, digit@cwhl.ca. Rambo brings the puck over to the near side. Breton plays it out in front for Deforge. Her backhand shot hits a Boston player. And Berman now will juke and jive at center and bring it up to the Montreal blue line. Wrist shot in on goal, stopped by Herron as the puck comes over to the near side. The captain plays it back to the line for Jialing. Banging away at it, side of the net. Puck lays loose as Mahoney was banging away on the puck, but then Herron finally pounces onto it and holds on for the whistle. We spoke about some of the CWHL Olympians who have been named to the U.S. Women's Ice Hockey roster. L'équipe des Stars de Montréal tient à féliciter tous nos stars qui auront le plaisir de représenter le Canada aux prochains Jeux olympiques de Sochi en 2014. Caroline Ouellette, Catherine Ward, Megan Augusta, Ailey Irwin, Charlene Labonté, Lauriane Rougeau. Bravo les Stars, and that's coming from the direction of the team. Bette tips the puck into the offensive zone. Bolden turns it over. Centering pass, Stevenson with a shot, and that just goes wide of the near post. Pickett skates the puck towards the blue line. She is stood up there by Bette. Bette could not control, and on the follow-up, here's Bolden skating in and over the blue line. Fakes the shot, cuts wide. Bolden going towards the front of that, centering pass. Pickett, she gets a backhand shot away, and it hits the side of the cage. She just ran out of real estate and couldn't get the shot away. On the near side, Blake Bolden battling with a pair of stars, and it's Chartrand who comes up with it and gingerly backhands it down the ice as Montreal goes for a line change. 3:25 to go in the first period. Coming up in our first intermission, we will have a chance to speak with Ann-Sophie Bette of the Stars. Here's a steal. Dumais going to the front of that. Tipped on goal, and Ott with the stop. Here's Bacchia playing it back to the line. Tardif, wrist shot through traffic, gets through. Ott kicks it into the near corner. Vakia plays it to Dumais behind the net. Dumais tries to come up with it. She does, gives it to Bakia. Bakia's got Blais in front, goes back to the blue line for Cwhl. Back to Bakia. Bakia coming in off the right side. She's spun around there, and Burns will come up with the puck, and she will bank it off the boards and out to center. Cwhl plays it off the wall, ahead to Dumais. She's got Cwhl going towards the front of the goal. Wrist shot, kicked aside by Ott. Puck comes over to the near side. Here's Cwhl. Cwhl, far side to the right point. Shot by Blais is blocked, and here comes Boston back the other way. Dempsey with 2:30 to go in the period. Tries to play it in deep. She's stick checked by Blais. Blais tries to spring Provo free on the left side, and it will go for an icing as the puck was just out of her reach. So 2:20 to go in the first period. Face-off coming back in Montreal territory. Vous voulez plus de nouvelles et faits saillants? Accès aux vidéos, des potins et d'autres contenus exclusifs. Abonnez-vous dès aujourd'hui au infolette des Stars à montréal.cwhl.ca. Wrist shot from the point as Wolfeiler plays into the far corner. And coming up with it is Cassandra Dupree. She brings it to the blue line. Stick check. Dempsey spins and plays it back down low with 2 minutes to go in the opening 20. 1-0 Montreal on a power play goal by Tardif at 9:02. Cwhl plays it at Tardif on the near side. She seeks refuge behind her own goal. And now we'll play it. A cross-ice pass. Dangerous lead pass, but it rolls off of the stick at Provo. Out to play it. She plays it right off of the paraphernalia of Provo, but the puck scatters away from her, and back the other way comes Boston. Wolfeiler with a shot. Big rebound in front. Scores! Jillian Dempsey bangs it home. And this game is tied at 1. Dempsey went hard to the goal, picked up the rebound off of the pad of Héron, and then batted it home. And for Dempsey, that will be her 6th goal of the season, her 10th point. And with 1:36 to go in the period, this game is tied up at 1. Chartrand gives it to Hill on the right side. We'll get the confirmation of the goal in just a moment. Defarge backhands it into the offensive zone as Burns plays it for Boston. Being bothered there by Breton-Lebreu. Puck clear to the blue line. Breton-Lebreu comes up with it. She'll skate to the half boards now. It'll be sent the length of the ice. Icing coming up here to Boston with 1:10 to go in period number 1. Shots so far in this period favoring Montreal, 15-9. And we're just waiting for the confirmation of the goal on our electronic score sheet here. And we will give it to you in a few moments' time. Chartrand with a blast. It's tipped in front by Dagenet. It goes just wide. Puck comes back out in front as Davidson tried to center. Burns broke that up. Burns clears to the line. Here's Hill. Hill with a shot from the point. It hits a stick and comes over to the near side. Under a minute to go in the first period. Bette back to Chartrand. Right side for Hill. Hill with a wrist shot through traffic. And Davidson now will backhand it in on goal. Ott kicks that aside. And the Blades will clear it to center. Chartrand ahead for Davidson. In over the line. She's got Dagenet going to the goal. Wrist shot goes off of the mask of Ott. And over the glass and out of play. 36.2 seconds to go in period number 1. Benny Davidson, the former captain of the McGill Martlets, a 2-time CIS champion. It's going off to the bench with her line mates Dagenet and Bette. Thibault comes in to take the draw against Cardella of Boston, and she wins it back. Bolden is flushed out of the corner and came out to the bottom of the faceoff circle, but is able to play it over the near side. Cardella now with 25 seconds to go turns the puck over. Here's Thibault back the other way. Provo into the slot. Provo wrist shot. Kick saved by Ott, and it goes to the far corner. Here's Provo curling out of the corner. She has the puck roll off her stick. Cardella will play it over to the near board. She's battling there with Dupree. Cook now plays it back to Wolfeiler. Tardif, the goal scorer for Montreal, pinches in with 3 seconds to go in the period, and that will do it for the opening 20 minutes of the hockey game. So it's 1-0. It's 1-1 after 20 minutes of play here at the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal. So we'll be joined in just a few moments' time by Ann-Sophie, who is going to be making her way over to the bench area in just a moment's time. A good period of action, lots of scoring opportunities for both teams in the opening 20 minutes of play, as over 25 shots on goal were taken in the first period of this hockey game. You would not expect anything less from two of the top teams in the Cwhl. The second place team, Boston, and the first place Montreal squad. So we're just making our way down to speak with Ann-Sophie of Boston. Or excuse me, of the... as she makes her way over to the Boston bench. A reminder that tomorrow evening, the SSN Canada is proud to present another game in the Cwhl as Boston and Toronto face off. A 7:30 game. And we will have all of the action here on SSN Canada. And now I'm pleased to be joined by Ann-Sophie of the Stars. Ann-Sophie, premièrement, vos impressions de la première période?
Ben, ça a bien été. C'est la première de retour du vacances des fêtes. Donc, je pense qu'on a essayé de faire des chiffres courts, d'être intense. Puis, je pense que ça nous a porté fruit jusqu'à présent. Le score, c'est 1-1, mais on a passé beaucoup de temps dans leur zone. Puis, je pense qu'il faut juste continuer à build on that.
L'équipe, pendant la période de fête, qu'est-ce que vous avez fait? Avez-vous eu beaucoup de pratiques, vu qu'il y avait 2 matchs qui étaient annulés juste avant la période des fêtes avec le tempête de glace à Toronto? Y avait-il beaucoup de pratiques pour l'équipe?
Non, effectivement, ça a été un challenge pour nous parce que justement, on n'a pas eu de pratique. On a eu une pratique optionnelle le 30, puis il y avait quelques filles qui sont venues. Mais je pense qu'on est assez le fun. On est allé jouer dehors, donc on a eu un peu de fun comme ça. Mais sinon, je peux dire que le cardio, il marche aujourd'hui, puis on en paye un peu le prix, mais on aime ça jouer au hockey. Donc on fait les chiffres courts, puis on continue comme ça.
Puis demain, il y a un événement spécial, car les Stars vont participer avec le patinage avec les Canadiens de Montréal.
Oui, c'est exact. C'est un skills competition. Eux, les Canadiens, ils ont une pratique ouverte au public. Puis, dans le fond, ils ont invité quatre filles des Stars d'aller pour faire le concours d'habileté. Donc, deux au patin de vitesse, 2 au tir le plus puissant. Donc, je pense que ça va être vraiment intéressant de patiner devant une grande foule de 20 000 personnes. J'ai très hâte.
Mais qui va compétitionner contre Cathy Chartrand pour le tir le plus puissant?
Je pense que c'est Youpi, mais je suis pas sûre. Mais peu importe qui va, ça va être Cathy va gagner, c'est sûr.
Merci beaucoup, Ann-Sophie.
Merci beaucoup.
Ann-Sophie, l'attaquante des Stars. We had a chance to speak with Ann-Sophie of the Stars. She had mentioned that the team had not had a lot of practice during the during the Christmas break. In fact, since the 2 games against Calgary back in the middle of December, they have only been on the ice with one optional practice. That's because 2 games were canceled in Toronto against the Fury. Those games will be made up later on this season because of the ice storm that hit Toronto and Montreal just before Christmas. So other than one optional practice and some outdoor skating, she said that the girls are working hard in this first period, trying to catch their breath and be ready for period number 2 and getting back in the rhythm of their normal practice. So she also mentioned that tomorrow she will be participating with some other members of the Stars in the Habs practice at the Bell Center. 4 members of the Stars have been invited to participate in that particular practice. And there will be a skills competition. Cathy Chartrand will be participating in the skills competition. She thinks that she'll be playing against UP and that Chartrand will win the hardest shot. So it's 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. When we come back, second period action from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux. You're watching the CWHL Game of the Week on SSN. 1-1, Montreal and Boston after one period of play on the CWHL Game of the Week here on SSN. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of today's game between two of the top teams in the conference. It is 1-1 on goals by Stacy Tardif, who scored at 9:02 of the first period on the power play. And then at 18:24 of the first period, it was Dempsey scoring on a rebound. And that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. Teams Montreal will skate left to right here in period number 2. Dempsey from Wolfweiler at 18:24. Shots on goal in the first period in favor of Montreal, 19-10. Puck at center. Bolden steals, and Bolden will now bring the puck up the right side and dump it in deep. Bette in her own zone. Back to Chartrand. Chartrand over to Hill. Up the near side. Hill will play it out to center. And now Davidson steals. Davidson brings it into the line offside on the left side. We have played 36 seconds of the second period. Elsewhere in the CWHL this evening, Toronto and Brampton are facing off. And as we mentioned, tomorrow night, Brampton will host Toronto at 7:30 in a game that you can see here on SSN. Nico Cardarelli will have the call. And then he will also have the call next Saturday night when Calgary goes to Toronto to take on the Fury. That is a 7:30 broadcast time here on SSN. Dempsey, the goal scorer for Boston, battling on the near side. Now pushing it ahead. That was Berman. And back is Tardif behind her own goal. Tardif up the left side. It bypasses everybody. Icing waved off as Thibault gives chase. Ott plays it away from her, backhanding it into the far corner. Rambo on the far side turns the puck over as Provo and Dupree bang into each other. And the puck is lifted out to center by Boston. Back down in her own zone. Backpedaling is Cwhl. Cwhl blows a tire behind the net. Dempsey can't get to the puck, though, as Cwhl fell right in front of her. And Dupree comes up with it. Dupree cross-ice pass is deflected by Codrell. But here in the line is Provo going to the goal. Bagasha scores! Marie-Ève Provo! It's 2-1 Montreal. Provo's fifth goal of the campaign. And at 1 minute and 34 seconds of the frame, Montreal reestablishes its one goal advantage. Liz Breton takes the draw against Mahoney. And off the face-off, Boston powers it into the Montreal zone, but here comes Blais up the right wing side. Blais in over the line. Blais waiting, tries to feather in front for Deforge. It goes off her stick and just wide. Deforge back to the line. Prue Duparé with a shot through traffic. Ott goes down to the butterfly. And the puck is deflected over to the near corner. Blais back to the line to Boetz. Boetz's cross-ice pass intended for Prue Duparé came out over the blue line, and Montreal has to go back into their own zone. Blais side steps a check at center. Gets around Bolden, but the puck rolls in behind the net. Hammered around the boards by Battaglino. Bolden on the near side. Here's a Longley pass up the left side. A low slap shot by Cwhl goes wide of the net. Duparé rolls the puck over to the near side, and battling there for it is Emmanuel Blais. She gets it ahead to center. Here's Deforge with a wrist shot in on goal. Ott kicks it into the far corner. Bocchia battling along the boards left side with Blais. Blais kicks the puck free. Right to Dumais, though, for Montreal. She plays it back to the line of the captain, Chartrand. Over to Hill, right point. Hill will feather the puck into the right wing corner. Dupree tries to play it down low for Bocchia, but going hard to the wall there was Rambo to seal her off. Puck cleared to the blue line and out, but then it goes off of Dupree and into the crowd as we approach the 3-minute mark of period number 2. And Montreal holding a 1-goal advantage on the goal at 1:34 of this period by Marie-Ève Provo. Drew Burns in behind her own net, rolls the puck over to the near side for Jill Cardella. Plays it up the boards, and it's backhanded to the line by Rambo, but not cleared out of the zone. Burns battling with Bette. Bette taking to the boards. Cardella spins away from the check of Dagenet as the puck comes over to the near side. Cook can't get it past a pinching Hill. Davidson now takes her spot along the boards. Carly Hill keeps it in momentarily, but here comes Boston back the other way. Cook on the left side. Cook wrist shot through traffic as Chacon was there, and she blocked the puck. And now Davidson plays it out to center. Davidson in over the blue line. She's got Bette left wing side. Dagenet down low. Here is Davidson towards the goal. Cross crease pass, and going across and stopping it is Ott as she got her stick down just in time to prevent Bette from putting the puck into the vacant cage. So the face-off coming to the right of Ott. Off the face-off. Montreal will play it in deep. Behind the net, that is Provo. Provo now. Comes back to the line. Chitry with a shot. Knocked down in front. As Thibault now battling with Bolden. Cleared up the near side. Here is Dempsey. Dempsey can't get it out. Thibault plays it down low. Blais behind the net. Emmanuel Blais. Back to the line it goes to Taldif. Taldif, right point for Chitry. Chitry with a shot right on the shin pads of Dempsey, and she's away on the left wing side. Dempsey cuts inside. Dempsey towards the goal. She goes backhand shot, and it is deflected wide by Taldif. Thibault now below the goal line. Plays to the far side, and it goes off of the stick of Battaglino and out of play. 15:22 to go in period number 2, and it is 2-1 in favor of Montreal. 3-1 of the shots in this period. 20-11 are the shots on goal in favor of the Stars on the hockey game, as the faceoff is going to come out in neutral territory. Wentz loses the handle on it in the slot. Backhand shot by Battaglino is put wide of the net. She was cross-checked to the ice there. Is back the other way for the Stars is Fanny DeForge. Blais plays the puck to the half boards now. She's met there by Berman. And coming up with the puck, Breton Lebreu centering pass. And Ott had to be astute there as Boston clears it out to center. Dupere up the far side. Tip pass in over the line. Here's Blais. Blais has Breton Lebreu going towards the front of the net. Blais to the half boards now. Back to the line for Hill. Hill winds, fires. It's deflected in front by Breton Lebreu, and it goes into the near corner. Bwetz pinching in from the right point, keeps it in, and backpedaling in behind her own net was Rambo. She'll play it on the far side for Berman, and it comes ahead at center. Long, low shot taken there by Zhao Lin, the Chinese national team player. And here comes Cathy Chartrand, skating right to left. Pass up the middle, picked off by Cook, but the puck rolls right to Davidson. Davidson into the line. Davidson with Chartrand going to the goal, and Davidson fires it wide. Short side. Bette at the right point. She'll send it in on goal, and Ott will grab it and hold on for the whistle with 14 minutes to go in period number 2. 2-1 Montreal leading in the hockey game. A reminder that CWHL season passes are on sale for $75. That gets you to any regular season game in the league. Catch all the action with the CWHL season pass. Order it today at cwhl.ca. Chartrand picks the puck off in neutral ice. She banks it off the boards. Now a drop pass. Here's a backhand pass by Provo to Chartrand. It goes just wide as the puck rolled off her stick. She had a vacant cage as Ott was on one side and the captain for the Stars was on the other. Bolden locking Dupree up along the wall. Puck comes free, and it will be Cardella trying to clear. It's played back down to the corner. Dupree to Thibault. Thibault tried to skate towards the front of the goal, but Bolden sealed her off. Provo picks the puck off at the half boards. Provo down low to Dupree. Dupree coming out of the corner. Right side, centering pass. Timo, wrist shot. Ott was there standing tall in the butterfly to make the stop. The puck may have gone off of Bolden's stick. Montreal going for a line change as Boston is hemmed deep in their own zone on the long line change. Bocchia on the forecheck there. Cardella skates it out in front of her own net, comes to the left side. Lead pass up the middle, left wing now. Cook, she loses a handle on it. Chetchery battling with her at the half boards. Chetchery feathers the puck up the near wall, where it's picked off there by Bolden in neutral ice. She plays it back in, but Chetchery skates at the center. Pickett over to the far side for Dempsey. Give and go for Pickett. That doesn't work, as picking the puck off was Bocchia. Bocchia plays it to Chetchery. Chetchery tries to play it past Dempsey. She steals. Dempsey centering pass, Langman in front, a shot that goes just wide, and then she is knocked down from behind by Genet, and that will draw a penalty. The extra attacker coming on here for Boston as the captain. Berman has it. She'll roll it to the half boards for Cotterill. Berman now dishes off right side to Cook. Back to Berman. Back to, that's Pickett actually, not number 2. It's Pickett number 7. She'll play it over to the near side, and Montreal comes up with the puck. Taldif touches it, and a cross-checking call going against the Stars here. So Boston 0 for 1 on the power play. Goes back to the advantage at 7:55. Dagenet getting the gate. Boston, as we mentioned, 0 for 1 on the power play in the first period. They're sitting at about 16% efficiency on the season. Montreal, the second best penalty kill team in the league, with 86% efficiency. Cardella wins the draw, back to the line. Here's Berman. Berman to Pickett at the left wing hash marks. She brings it back to the top of the umbrella. Pickett shoots, and it goes off of the stick of Blais, out of play. So the faceoff will remain in Montreal territory to the right of Eron, who you see there in the middle of your screen. Her only loss this season came at the hands of Boston. Cardella, Pickett, and Cook up front for Boston on the power play. Berman and Wolfeiler on the back end. Berman gives it to Wolfeiler. She plays it over to Pickett. Left wing faceoff circle into her skates. Backhand centering pass is cleared away by Hill, and hammering it down the boards is Emmanuel Blais. On the penalty kill here for Montreal, it is Fanny DeForge and Blais up front. Hill and Chartrand on the back end. Starting the rush up, Wolfeiler to Pickett. She's forced back into her own zone by Fanny DeForge. Pickett dishes to Wolfeiler. Now she goes up the middle for Cook, who curls on the right wing side. She's in over the Montreal blue line. 2-on-3. Cross ice to Pickett. Pickett back to the line. Her pass is broken up there by Blais, and she tips it out to center, forcing Cardella all the way back into her own zone with a minute to go in the power play for Boston. The Blades start the rush up on the left side. Cardella. Pass ahead for Dempsey, the goal scorer for the Bostonians. She has her pocket picked there by Chartrand, but then Dempsey comes up with it. She's hauled down by Chartrand. No call on the play, and Montreal is able to clear the puck down the ice, and that allows Boston to go for the line change. Bette on the forecheck here. She has a pair of shorthanded goals this season, battling against Bolden. Here's the steal. Bette towards the goal. Wrist shot! And it goes off of Ott and wide. Cotterill curling between the rings, over to the right wing side in her own zone. 23 seconds to go in the power play for Boston. Plays it over to the near side for Blake Bolden. Bolden, her stretch pass up the left side, broken up there by Bwetz. Here's Lanes into the slot. She dishes back to the right point. Bolden now, that is Burns settling it down. Behind the net, Dempsey with a centering pass, knocked away by Eron. Clearing attempt, fanned on. Here's Bolden. Bolden off to the left side as the penalty to Montreal is over. Bolden to the half boards. Cotterill. Centering pass. It jumps off of, it skips over the stick of Dempsey in the slot. And now coming up with it is Bocchia. She will gingerly play the puck out to center. Montreal going for a line change. Puck is not that deep into the Boston zone as Bolden will slow it down and roll it over to Burns on the near side. Burns being bothered there by Davison. Burns falls but plays the puck astutely to the boards. Bwetz at the blue line. Keeps it in momentarily as Blais and Battaglino collide to the neutral ice. Battaglino is slow to get up and go to the Boston bench. Here's a centering pass. Taldif can't get the shot away as she was bodied there by Cwhl. Chetchery up to Blais on the right wing side. Here is Davidson to Blais. Blais with Provo in front. Blais takes the shot, and it's blocked by Burns and goes behind the net. 11 minutes gone by here in period number 2. Still 2-1 Montreal on the go-ahead goal by Provo at 1:34 of the period. On the near side, Marie-Ève Provo, centering pass, Checheret with a wrister that goes just wide. Stretch pass up the right side. Here's Boston on the counterattack. Adelino into the slot. And the puck goes off of a skate over to the near half boards. Thibault skates back, curls down below the right wing faceoff circle in her own zone, starting the rush up on the right side. Thibault cuts wide. She's got Dupree in front. The centering pass, and a shot goes just wide as Provo just missed netting her second of the period. Here's Provo behind the net as the puck hits a piece of ice and jumps up into the air over her stick. Thibault with a good work in on the near side to take the puck away from Berman, but her centering pass is intercepted by Rambo, and she'll get it out to center. Chartrand brings the puck in offside as Provo was going for the line change, but she went to the gate inside the blue line and could not get to the bench before her teammate, the captain, crossed in on the offside. Become a CWHL Insider by joining us on Twitter at CWHL_Insider. And the latest information, we'll get back to that in just a moment, but some great news on various Olympians coming out of the CWHL. Pickett on the stretch pass, can't catch up to it as it is an icing charge against Boston. 7:51 to go in the frame. Still 2-1 Montreal. So the faceoff will come to the left of Ott. You take a look at Kelly Cook, number 2, second round pick in the CWHL draft this year. Early movement on the faceoff, so we will do it all over again. Shot so far in the period in favor of Montreal, 4-2. 23-12. Actually, it's now 7-3 Montreal, 26-13 on the hockey game. Gardella loses the puck to Deforge. As a Montreal player, that is Camille Duhumé, knocked down. She was on the puck, but not long enough for a whistle, and that allows Berman to skate it out to center. Berman puts the brakes on to pick it in front. She is knocked down by Liz Breton-Lebreu. Good defensive play there by the former Montreal captain. In her own zone now, that is Hill. Coming over to the near side, being pressured back behind the goal line by Cook. Hill gives it to Chartrand, who starts the rush up, lugging the puck up the right wing side. Bank pass off the boards. Good pass. Bette is in just offside. Great pass by Chartrand, but just in behind the veteran forward for the Stars, and she brought the puck in offside. So Provo from Checheret at 1:34. That is the difference of the second period. That's the difference right now. In our second intermission, we will go down and we will speak with Brittany Ott, the goalkeeper for Boston, who seems to once again be headed for a great game here. She has made 24 saves thus far in the hockey game as Montreal knocks the puck down with a high stick, so the faceoff will come all the way back down in the Star zone. As there is Ott on your screen. And we will speak with her in the second intermission, as well as with the commissioner of the league. That's all coming up in our second period break. Bette takes the pass from play on the left side. Bette cuts in. Bette going towards the goal, but she is separated from the puck by Blake Bolden. Great move there by the rear guard for the Blades. Here's Dempsey now in the middle line. Dempsey with a wrist shot, and it goes just over the bar. Lanes now with the puck. Over to the far side. Here's Blay. Blay will skate it out to center. She's got Davidson and Provo with her. Blay slams the brakes on. Provo to the front of that. Cross ice to Davidson. It's broken up there nicely by Lanes. She got her stick into the passing lane. And Davidson, Provo now comes out of the corner. Takes a shot. Dupree going to the front of the goal. Ott in the butterfly, and she takes it in the bread basket and will hold on for the whistle. 6:02 to go in the middle stanza. Well, we say the middle stanza, but with these two teams, you never know what might happen. So the face-off coming to the left of the netminder. Ott. Burns on the far side, plays up the half boards to Cwhl. She gets it out to center. Badalino gives it to Cwhl. Mahoney now battling with Cwhl on the near side. And skating out to center is Thibault, 2-on-2. She's got Provo on the left side. Thibault drop past Provo into the slot. Wrist shot goes off the skate of the defender Rambo. And the puck will be turned over. Here's Provo to Dupree. Dupree coming in from the right wing corner. He gets a shot away, low percentage shot, but still an opportunity for Montreal to score as the rebound laid in the slot area. Here's Thibault now. As a penalty coming up behind the net, as Provo was dumped by Burns as she was nowhere near the puck. And with 5:12 to go in the second period, Montreal goes to its second power play of the hockey game. 1-for-1, the power play marker. Taldif with a blast just under the bar, coming in off of the right wing face-off circle to open the scoring at 9:02 of period number 1. So it's Davidson, Bette, and Thibault up front. Chartrand and Provo also out there on this power play. For Montreal, Bolden and Wolfeiler on the back end. Cook and Pickett up front for Boston. Pickett with the lone shorthanded goal for the Blades this season. Off the face-off, controlled by Montreal. Chartrand plays it to the half-boards for Davidson, who gives it back to Chartrand. She fakes the shot, dishes off to Bette. Back to the top for Chartrand. Hits a skate in front, and it is stopped by Ott. It went off of the skate of Wolfeiler, the the rear guard for Boston. And the face-off will be coming to her left now, to Ott's left, with 5 minutes to go in period number 2. Still 2-1 in favor of Montreal. Bette spinning away from the check of Cook. Bette dishes down low to Provo. Provo in the right wing corner, back to Davidson. Top of the umbrella. Chartrand with a shot. Goes off of Cook's stick end into the near corner. Davidson tries to recover, but it will be clear to the line and past Chartrand. And here's Pickett. Pickett on the left side. She's on a solo player rush to the front of the goal. She goes. She wrists it just wide of the net as Bette came and cut off the skating lane on her. Cook, shorthanded now, will play it back out to center, as Boston will go for a line change. Great opportunity there for Pickett, shorthanded, to try and get the equalizer. Bette banks the puck off the boards, far side, picked off there by Wolfeiler, and she brings it in 3-on-1. Wolfeiler feathers it towards the goal, but Chartrand goes down and blocks it. Provo plays it behind the net for Chartrand. Dempsey was on the forecheck there. Bette now drops it back for Dagenet. And then it is Dagenet now skating the puck out to center. The puck skips off of Dupree's stick. No icing on the play. 40 seconds to go in the power play for Montreal. Taldif along the near boards. Pinching in. The puck pops free. Lanes will clear to the line. Hill knocks it down, but it's knocked off of her stick by Dempsey, who scored the low marker for Boston back in period number 1. She gives chase as Hill goes behind the net. She has to dangerously play it over to the left side, as coming in on the forecheck was Shannon Mahoney. And now Boston will play it back down into Montreal territory, and that will just about do it for this Montreal power play. Hill starting the rush up for the Stars. Plays it right side for Dagenet, left side for Dagenet to Blais. Blais forced back, and now stepping back onto the ice is Burns. Drew Burns, his penalty has expired, and Boston 1-for-2 on the penalty kill in the hockey game now. Berman behind her own net, turns the puck over. Dupree tries to feather it in front. Rambo intercepts and plays it into the corner. Badalino up the far side. Up the far side, as Berman now has it for Boston. Cardarella now on the left side. In over the Montreal blue line. Across to Badalino, but it was knocked away from her by Chartrand. Cathy Chartrand. She'll start the rush up, but the net is knocked off. It's mooring behind the Montreal netminder, Catherine Heron, with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the second period. Face off in neutral territory. Bacchia carries it in over the line, left side. Stood up there by Burns. Puck behind the net it goes. Fanny DeForge now coming out of the right wing corner back to Cwhl. She tries to give it back to DeForge, but it pops over her stick. Bacchia behind that centering pass. Banging away at the short side there. That was Breton Lebreu, as she had a point-blank range shot that Ott astutely stopped as she came over and made the save. Icing call coming up here against Boston as they played the puck just out of the reach of Anya Badalino. Reminder, the other game in the league tonight, it's Brampton and Toronto, and the second game of their home-and-home series can be seen on SSN tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time. Shots on goal in period number 2. So far, Montreal 10, Boston 4. But what really counts is the goal by Provo. Marie Provo's 5th of the season at 1:34. That's the difference in the hockey game. Here's a chance in tight. Blais is denied by the blocker of Ott. Hill plays it down low now. A centering pass for Blais. Blais takes it to the front of the goal. Puck comes free across the face of the goal, but she could not get her stick on the puck. Carly Hill at the left point. Give and go with, here's Chartrand now from the point, as Bette was the player that was giving and going there with Hill. Bette. Centering pass intended for Davidson, picked off. Now spinning and firing is Blais, and Ott in the butterfly makes a stop. Dangerous turnover there by the Stars. Wolfeiler battling in along the boards. She pushes Blais to the wall, and now she will backhand it up the middle. Hill with a steal with a high rising slap shot. Blocked. Hill dishes left side. Davidson tries to go to Bette, but a great defensive play by Wolfeiler to go down and take the scoring chance away from the Stars as we are inside 45 seconds to go in period number 2. Puck locked up against the boards in behind the Montreal net. Puck is still free, and therefore no whistle, and now coming up with it is Cassandra Dupree. Dupree on the right wing side, in over the blue line. Goes wide, tries to get around Bolden. She lost a handle on the puck, will now pass it to the far side for Thibault. Tried to spot Provo in the slot. Here is Thibault again. Tries to go to Provo again. And it's picked off again by Cook. Cook tips it past Pou Dupere. Here is Cook going to the goal. Cook! Backhand shot! And a great stop by Errand, who goes down and sneaks out the left pad to deny the forward for Boston. 5 seconds to go in the period. And that will do it. The Stars will take a 2-1 lead into the third period. Oh my, what action at the end of period number 2 as Boston's Cook almost ties the game up. So the score after 40 minutes of play on the Marie-Ève Provo goal at 1:34 of period number 2 is Montreal 2, Boston 1. We're just going down to meet with Brittany Ott, the netminder for Boston. And she will be our second period guest on the broadcast today. So we'll grab Brittany Ott on the near side today. Our second intermission guest, Brittany Ott, the goalkeeper for Boston. Brittany, another outstanding game for you against Montreal so far. Almost 30 saves in the hockey game. Tell us a little bit about what you've been experiencing out on the ice in your first game back from the Christmas break.
Well, it's definitely a really high-paced game. It's a lot of fun to be out there right now. There's obviously a lot of shots coming my way. but we're working pretty well as a team. We just need to get a little bit more going our way, a little bit more offense, create a couple more opportunities, put a couple more in the net, and hopefully take the game.
How have you found the transition as a first-year player coming out of the college ranks into the CWHL?
It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more high-paced than college hockey, but it's a lot of the same girls out on the ice. I'm playing with a bunch of girls that I always used to play against for 4 years. They were once the enemy, and now we're all good friends, so it's a lot of fun being here.
Any additional pressure playing for the defending Clarkson Cup champions?
No, I mean, each new season is a new beginning, and I'm just excited to be a part of it this year. Hopefully we can bring it back to Boston.
Final question, 2 games so far this season against the Stars, and you've been outstanding. 60 saves through approximately 50 minutes of play now. Is there something about the Boston-Montreal rivalry that gets you up for playing the Stars?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more heated than the other games, I suppose. We just know that they're a big rival for us, and they had the Clarkson Cup before we had it, so there's always going to be that rivalry there between us, I think. But just always got to go out, play hard, do everything you can to hopefully get the W with the team.
Brittany Ott, thank you very much for your time, and good luck in the third period.
Thank you very much.
Brittany Ott, the goaltender for the Boston Blades, who trail the Montreal Stars 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. When we continue our second intermission, and we will have the commissioner of the CWHL joining us up in our studio. Montreal 2, Boston 1 after 40 minutes of play. You're watching the CWHL Game of the Week on SN. Welcome back to our second period intermission. It is 2-1 Montreal leading Boston on the CWHL Game of the Week, and very pleased to be joined by the Commissioner of the CWHL, Brenda. A couple of really interesting announcements before we get into the growth of women's hockey, but some really interesting announcements the last couple of weeks for the CWHL. A new apparel deal, as well as new members of the board of director, and culminating this week with a new coaching partnership in the province of Alberta for the CWHL.
Yeah, we've been really lucky that we've been able to continue our growth. Brian Burke coming on as one of our new board members will certainly help us grow in all different areas. We're excited about the coaching opportunity with Alberta, being able to provide an opportunity for women to know how to coach women and men to know how to coach women, because it's a very different game. Very different in skill and very different way of positioning ourselves. So we're really excited about a lot of stuff that's happening with us, and Gong Show coming on, and Under Armour before that. It's like, wow, we're excited.
So what exactly is the Gong Show agreement?
Well, for us, it was an opportunity to, we have a Player of the Month, which is put on and sponsored by Gong Show. It provides us with an opportunity for us to get some merchandise to our fans, which very shortly our fans out there will be able to go on to our site and sign up and get a chance to win some apparel from Gong Show. And there are also two individuals that really, you know, with the passion of hockey, started up their company and kind of aligns with us big time.
So let's turn our attention to the development of the CWHL. Recently, the announcement that the Clarkson Cup Championship will be held once again, 2014 and 2015, in the city of Markham. So the league seems to be really on the upswing. What are some of the next steps for the CWHL in growing the game beyond the markets in which the league is in right now?
Well, you know, we've got a 5-year strategic plan, and we're right on target. We want to eventually expand to another team into the USA. I think that's very essential. I think that we have to start looking at perhaps, looking down the road at franchises in the future. And the key thing right now for us in growth is, John, is very simple. It's getting the fans out to see this game, because I tell you, if you come once, you'll come 100 times, because this game here is something to be seen. A lot of times, everybody will tune in a couple of weeks to watch the Olympics, and our Olympians that play here are playing there. But all the people who did not make it, or who are just on the verge, is playing in our league. And sometimes, just recently, as the USA team announced, some good players get left behind, and that's where they are. They're playing in our league just like the NHL. So I challenge everybody out there to just once come in, see our game, and I guarantee you, you'll be back.
Well, this is the place where fans can watch Olympians play in the 3 years between Olympic Games in the quadrennial.
I absolutely adore and love our players. We have 125 players, and out of those, we have 25 that are going to the Olympics. But those players play together for 3 to 4 years, and they cheer them on. They know that they're helping them succeed their dream. They're living their dreams. And, where else would you get that opportunity? But better yet, where else would you get somebody that would support you that way? And it's one of the things that the Canadian Women's Hockey League is about. It's not just hockey. It's creating leadership opportunities for women. It's creating dreams to come true. And it's about women helping women. So, I'm so lucky to be a part of this league.
And it's not just women who are involved either with helping to promote the game. We have young general managers and coaches who are women, but as you mentioned, Brenda, involved who may be in coaching girls hockey. There is a future for them in the game as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got some phenomenal men that helped us start this league. Scotiabank, one of our sponsors, Bauer, Tim Hortons, these are all key guys that we met. And, they support women's hockey so much. And, we look at the fathers in the stands and we say to them, bring out your daughters, guys, because, this is where to do it. So there's opportunities for men and women. And I just think it's, we always say to people way back when, if you could have bought stock in something and, looked down the future and said, oh, I wish I could have. This is, I'm telling you, the best stock you can buy right now is come out and see our game and support it.
Well, 100 years ago, men were playing in the National Hockey League and they weren't being paid. very similar to the women on the ice right now. They have careers, they have families, they're not being paid. Everything else, all their expenses are being paid for, but they're not being paid. Is that the next step in the evolution of the CWHL?
That's definitely the next step for us, is to get our women paid, to make it a viable career option, because that's so essential for them. And people forget that 100 years ago, just like the NHL, they didn't get paid. They played outside. The fans were just growing. So we're growing slowly, but it's definitely on it. Our women deserve to be paid, and I want every young girl to one day say, I want to grow up and make a career out of professional hockey, and that's what our league's all about.
Well, when you and I were children, women's hockey didn't really exist. There was ringette. There were the odd places where girls could play hockey, but now any young girl or woman who wants to play hockey has the opportunity anywhere in Canada. What are some of the international growth opportunities for the CWHL outside of Canada and the United States?
I think that's the next step for us also. I think to bring international players over to our league and get them involved, because I truly believe that the growth of the international game will increase when they come over here and start playing with our players, because everybody knows that the higher caliber that you play, the better player you become. And you see that all the time. So I'm really looking forward to starting opening opportunities also for, international players to come and play in our league and support our league. So it's all little steps, but those little steps turn into success.
Digit Murphy, one of the greatest all-time NCAA coaches. The coaching staff out in Calgary, pedigree with international hockey experience as well as NHL coaching experience. The experience for these young women, the structure put around these teams is something that is very important, and it's thanks to people like yourself who have helped put this structure around them out of the old National Women's Hockey League, which unfortunately didn't succeed. It seems that the structure that's been put in place by the CWHL leadership is allowing this league to grow and prosper and to provide young women with an incredible opportunity to continue playing hockey at a high level.
Well, you know what? I think it really has to do with the women that play on these teams. Like, there is so many, our general managers, our coaches, our board members, our volunteers. It's truly what it's built on. Our volunteers that do this are really the backbone of this league. So, and I think that the leagues that came before us were all great stepping stones, and they were essential in growing the game. So, we're a little bit luckier in the simple fact that, we're at the right time at the right place. But it's all built on passion, and you will not find it any more here than any other sport as far as I'm concerned, because they're playing for the true love of the game, pure hockey at its best, not being paid, and coming out and giving their all every night. So, we're very lucky.
And not just coming out and playing every night, but also giving back to their respective communities in the sport of hockey.
It's one of the other things, you take a look at it. We do breast cancer tournament games because, we want to try to find a cure. We do a massive grassroots programs with our teams, giving back to the young women. We want to make sure that, we were involved as the first league for You Can Play, that says that no matter who you are or what you are, you should be allowed to play hockey. You should be allowed to do anything you want in life. And I think, that's what our league is. It's not just about taking, it's about giving back. And I think that's why we're going to be successful, because, when you do things for the right reasons, it's always successful. So 20 seconds of courage will bring you a lifetime of opportunity, and that's what we're about, 20 seconds of courage.
So, Brenda, if is there a way for fans, if they wanted to help develop the league, making a donation or getting involved with the league, is there a way that they could help out, either financially or by volunteering?
Any individual can go on our website and look us up and email us, and we'll get you a job. And if not, there's the Friends of the CWHL, which is on our website. And truly, any donation counts. Any donation is so thankful to us. And bottom dollar is this: just come out to a game, because if you come out to a game, you're supporting us with your ticket through the door. So, it's easy to be involved, and if you want to make a difference, truly make a difference, and everybody gets an opportunity to make a difference, just come and see us and come and pay that ticket.
Brenda Andrus, thank you very much for stopping by today, and we look forward to speaking with you again in the future at least the Clarkson Cup in Markham later on this year.
Thank you so much.
It's 2-1 Montreal leading Boston here at the Arena Étienne Desmarteaux in Montreal, and we will be back in just a moment with third period action. You're watching the CWHL Game of the Week on SSN. Starting the third period, it's still 2-1 in favor of Montreal on a goal by Marie-Ève Provost at 1:34 of the second period. And that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play. So we'll face it off to the left of Ott. Brittany Ott, who was our guest in second intermission. Thibault wins the draw for Montreal. Bolden plays it up the far side. Here is Hill now. Back to Provost. Provost tries to slip it into Dupree down low. Thibault with it. Thibault coming out of the corner. Backhand pass is intercepted there by Cardella. She'll clear it to the line, but it hits a stanchion and Thibault steals. Here's Thibault cutting into the slot. Cardella stands her up and Cook comes back to play the puck. Thibault in the corner. Still battling for the puck. Cardella and Bolden in there as well. Dupree for Montreal, and now the puck is iced. And there will be no icing on the play, as it was ruled that a Montreal player could have played the puck. So the puck is sent all the way down the ice into Boston territory, and an icing call coming up here against Montreal. Let's take a look at the scoring summary so far in the hockey game, and we will have that for you in just a moment's time. As the face-off comes to the left of Aron. Davidson lost the face-off. Cottrell comes in, plays at the half-boards. Now the puck comes back out in front for Cottrell. Puck rolls over to the far side. That is Rambo now. Rambo behind the goal. It goes. Tardif gives it to Davidson. Davidson plays it up the near side for Bette. Coming to the wall and sealing her off was the captain of Boston, Berman. But Montreal brings it into the line. The pass just behind Bette. That doesn't connect, as Bette is now battling with Berman in on the near half-boards. Bette with it. She's got Davidson in front of that. Centering pass for Blake. She can't get her stick on it, as she'll pass it back to Bette. To the line it comes. A wrist shot by Cwhl. Goes wide. Bette centering pass. Pass was in behind Blake. It comes back to Cwhl. She'll play to the half wall now and skate it to Blake. She's sealed off there by Berman, and now the Blades will clear it at the center as Tardif and Cottrell got locked up in neutral ice. Pass to Bette on the near side. Bette will kiss it into the offensive zone and go for a line change here, as we have played 2:10 of the third period. Badalino plays it in deep as the puck comes over to the near side. Duparé knocked down there by Mahoney. Mahoney's centering pass is broken up. And here is Fanny Deforge playing the puck off the near side. 3-on-2. Deforge now into the slot. There's a wrist shot by Boetz, and coming out and making the stop is Ott. She will hold on for the whistle. Shots. Let's take a look at the scoring summary in the hockey game. The Stars open up the scoring as Stacey Tardif scored on the power play at 9:02 of the first period. The assist going to Emmanuel Blais. Jillian Dempsey ties the game up at 18:24 of the first period. Alyssa Wolf-Filer with the assist at 18:24. Shots in the first period favored Montreal 19-10. And the go-ahead goal as it stands right now is Marie-Ève Provost from Alyssa Cwhl at 1:34 of the second period. And the shots on goal in that second period favored Montreal 14-5. Game total 33-15 coming into the third period. Chartrand plays the puck to the half boards now. She gets the puck back from Blais. A slap shot is kicked aside by Ott. Dupree doesn't get to it, but the clearing attempt is intercepted by Chartrand. She goes to Carolyn Hill over the far side. Here's Thibault to Dupree behind the net. Back to Chartrand coming in left side. Wrist shots up, rebound, go! And it just goes wide of the net. Thibault had the empty cage, and it looked like she had batted it in, but she put it just wide of the post. Now Boston brings it back out to center. Here is Pickett. Pickett curling, straight up the gut she goes. Now cuts over to the left wing side, goes around Pavot. Plays it into the corner, battling now with Chartrand. Centering pass, a shot, scores! Cook puts it just under the bar. Pickett does all the work and centers it out in front to Cook, and we have a tie game. 3 minutes and 41 seconds into the third period. Cook from Pickett. And this game is tied up at 2 for Kelly Cook. That is her 4th goal of the campaign. So we're tied at 2. As this game is changed in a blink of an eye, as Thibault almost had a chance moments prior to give Montreal a 2-goal advantage, and we're now knotted up at 2. Here's Berman with a shot tipped in front by Cwhl, and it rolls in on the netminder Aron. She will hold on for the stoppage in play. And while we got a few moments here in the third period, we'd like to welcome Dominic Chirallo to the booth. He is with Rocket Sport Dryer, which is a sponsor of the CWHL. Dominic, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks very much.
Here is Breton Lebreu bringing the puck up the left side. Lead pass for Dagenet just out of her reach. Berman and her go in behind the net as the puck is corralled there by the Montreal forward. Breton Lebreu gives it to Deforge. Puck comes over to the near side, and Cwhl will clear the line. Stacey Tardif, who opened the scoring up at 9:02 of the first period, plays it into Fanny Deforge. Backhand pass intercepted there by Berman, and she will curl away and bring the puck towards the blue line. Dagenet keeps it in, and now Dempsey will chase the puck out at center ice as Cwhl backpedals at neutral at the center red line with Lang. Deforge banks it off of the boards, and she'll play it in deep. So, Dominic, your company is one of the sponsors and supporters of the CWHL. Why did you guys get involved with the CWHL?
Well, it started about 2 years ago. Met with Carolyn Millette, who's now with Team Canada, obviously, and fell in love with Carolyn, fell in love with the Stars, and shortly after that contacted Brenda Andrus at the CWHL and decided that we were going to sponsor the league completely.
Coming in off of the left side with a wrist shot was Bolden. As Davidson now is behind the net. Cwhl knocked down in the corner. No, and there is going to be a penalty coming up here to the former member of the Chinese national team, Zhao Linding, as Bacchia brings it in over the line. Bacchia with the extra attacker on for the Stars. Bacchia with the puck along the boards, and now the play is whistled dead as Montreal goes to its third power play of the hockey game. 1 for 2 so far with the man advantage. So, Dominic, what exactly is the Rocket Sports Dryer?
Well, the Rocket Dryer is something we invented a couple of years ago. Basically, you could take it on the road with you. Sets up in a couple of minutes. Within 1 hour, you put your equipment into the airbag and it's dry and you're ready for the next game. So you're never playing hockey or any other sport in soaking wet equipment.
So can you use? Can you put numerous players' equipment inside it, or is it one player at a time?
It's for one person at a time.
So Bette now on the power play here for the Stars. Gives it back to Chartrand. Her shot. Benzister scores! Kovo tips it home, her second of the hockey game, and the second power play tally of the night. Montreal leads it 3-2. Now, Dominic, Povo's on fire tonight.
You got me screaming. They're quite amazing hockey players, no doubt.
6 minutes is the time of the power play marker for the Stars. And if that is indeed Provo's 6th goal of the season, it will be her 2nd of the game, and that will give the Stars the advantage here. And it is Provo. It has been confirmed. Provo with the goal. But here come the Blades back with a backhand shot. That was Cook. It hit Blay in front of the net and almost pinballed into the cage. And this is the beauty of the CWHL. It is outstanding hockey, great value, and the games are generally very close.
Absolutely. I bring my kids here to this game. They probably enjoy it more than seeing the big league games. It's end-to-end hockey. It's amazing.
And very accessible as well.
True.
So what are some of the things that attract you and your family to come out to the games? We had Brenda Andrus on a few minutes ago, and she was talking about that if people were to bring their kids out to a game, they will want to come back. So why do you want to keep coming back, other than the fact that your personal relationship with some of the players?
Well, you know what? The personal relationship is definitely important. First and foremost, the hockey is incredible. Our men's league actually plays a charity game against the girls.
As Dupree scores to make it 4-2 on the give and go.
So our men's team plays against the women, and basically we know that they're incredibly talented athletes. A fun game. But basically, as you said, it's great value for the money. Kids can come out. There's great contests. Kids can win prizes. The Chuck-a-Puck, which we sponsor. There's a lot of fun things that interact the kids and the fans to the game.
Cassandra Dupree with her first goal of the campaign. 45 seconds after Marie-Ève Provost scores her 6th to give the Stars the lead. And now the Stars have a 2-goal advantage on their arch rivals in this battle for top spot in the CWHL. Fanny DeForge rolls it in just wide of the net, but Brittany Ott takes no chances to, as Montreal's coming on hard, she freezes the puck, and there will be a face-off in Boston territory to her right. So Dominic, who would be some of your favorite players or your kids' favorite players on the Stars?
Well, you know what, being a goalie myself, I'm always gravitating towards the goalies. And, you know, whether it's the Montreal Stars or any of the teams in the CWHL, you just enjoy all the hockey that's out there. So, first and foremost, definitely the goalies, because I'm a goalie myself.
Cotterill is going to get a hooking penalty here, and that will give Montreal its 4th power play of the game. 2 for 3 so far on the contest. Bit of a heartbreaker last year when Montreal lost to the Blades in the championship. Boston was an outstanding team. They've placed, I believe it's 5 or 6 players on the U.S. Olympic team this year. So, you know, a very solid formation led by Digit Murphy.
Absolutely. Boston, Montreal played one heck of a game last year.
The overtime game?
Exactly. It was end-to-end. The goalies battled Geneviève Lacasse, who's on Team Canada, Charlene Labonte, who was on Team Canada. These goalies were going head-to-head. It was one of the most exciting games of the Clarkson Cup.
Chartrand plays it down low. Provost! Centering pass, and Thibault just tips it wide. Thibault must feel a little snake-bitten right now after missing 2 tip-ins right at the side of the cage.
Tough. And she's been playing a great game.
Here's Chartrand at the point. Dishes off to Bette. Bette curls and gives it to Chartrand, but the puck is ruled to have come out over the blue line. So an offside call with 1:17 to go in this Montreal power play and 12:13 to go in regulation time. The Stars now a 2-goal advantage on Boston. So you had a chance to get up to the Clarkson Cup last year in Markham. It's back again in 2014 and 15 in the city of Markham. If fans are tuning in today wondering, should we go? What was your experience at the Clarkson Cup?
You know, before the final game, during the mornings, a lot of the schools came 10 busloads at a time. It was so loud and so noisy in there. The players absolutely loved it. It made the game even more exciting for them, and they played to the crowd, and the crowd loved it even more. But the finals was explosive. It was packed house. You couldn't move in a place. It was just so exciting, end-to-end hockey, and the game was in overtime. So you can't ask for better hockey than that.
Here's play in the slot, and she kicked it just wide of the mark as she came in off of the left side. Cassandra Dupree back to Blay to Hill, right side. There's a shot by Tardif. Going low and blocking that was Wolfeiler, and she is feeling the pain of that drive as Tardif, who slapped a shot just under the bar from a similar position in the first period, opened the scoring. sends the Boston defender to the bench, and she is in a heap of hurt over on the Boston bench. Here's a steal by Boston. Dempsey on the counterattack, tries to cut inside on Hill. Hill stands her up, and now Dempsey comes up with a centering pass, stopped by Aron. Big rebound, and Hill will clear it over to the far side. Cassandra Dupree will settle the puck down, but then she tries to play it back to safety in the corner. Cardella steals momentarily. Dupree now will play it below the goal line for Hill as the penalty to Cwhl of Boston expires. Montreal 2 for 4 on the advantage today. Paddling on the far side, that's Camille Dumais. She gives it to Vanessa Davidson. She'll play it over to the left side for Chartrand streaking into the offensive zone. Wrist shot, kicked aside by Ott to the far side. Dumais now tries to come out in front. The puck lays loose into the slot. Davidson tries to catch up to it. She does over on the near wall. Plays it back to Chartrand. Wrist shot, kick saved by Ott. Puck comes over to the near corner. Davidson now, as Bocchia knocks down Burns. Davidson on top of the puck. She'll glove it there. And Burns clears it to the blue line. Badalino will play it out to center. And backhanding it over to the near side. As Boston goes for a line change as we approach the midway point of the third period. 4-2. The Stars on top. Breton Lebrun with a wrist shot in on goal. Deforge comes up with the puck. Deforge, Fanny Deforge, centering pass into the slot there for Dagenet. Dagenet now plays it back to the blue line. Chechere coming in from the right side. She takes the shot. It goes off the leg of Berman. And it will be Mahoney clearing it, but not far enough as Dagenet steals. Dagenet, Breton Lebrun with a wrist shot, and it goes just wide. Deforge now coming out of the far corner. Back to the blue line it goes. A shot from Bwetz is knocked down, and back comes Boston on the counterattack at the end of a long shift. Bwetz steals the puck just inside her own blue line. Breton Lebrun now with it for the Stars, plays it to Dagenet. Deforge is run over in the neutral zone as her and Cardella cross paths. Neither player saw each other, and that's why there was no penalty called. Bwetz in her own zone. Banks the puck off the end wall. Blay over to the near side for Bette. Bette just onto the ice. Her clearing attempt hits a leg, bounces in front. Cardella settles it down, but it's swept over to the far side. Here's Bette again. This time she'll try to skate it out, but Bolden gets to it first, slaps it towards the goal. Bwetz tips it over to the far side, and it will be Davidson clearing to the line, kept in as Prou Duparé, the former Stinger, now has the puck, curling out of the far corner. Lead pass up the left side, just in behind Bette. It hit her in the skate. Blake tries to play it ahead to Bette. That didn't work either. And Burns now will play it ahead at center on the right side for Pickett. She turns it over as Prou Duparé gives it to Bette. She tips it into the offensive zone. Pickett back for Boston. Long slap shot. Blocker to side of the far corner by Aron. Chartrand plays it over to the near side. Pickett intercepts. Pickett sends it towards the goal. Kick stop over to the far side by Aron. And now bringing it out to center is Thibault. Dominique Thibault will play it into the offensive zone. She is held up there at the blue line. No call on the play. 8 minutes remaining in the third period. 4-2 Montreal. Boston's going to have to start generating some offense. They have had less than 20 shots in the hockey game to this point in time, and they need to get some offense going here late in the third period. Emma Rambo juking and jiving left side, takes a wrist shot. Again, blocker gingerly into the corner by Aron. And the puck will be cleared to the blue line, knocked down by Lanes. Lanes with a shot that goes wide of the target. Dupree settles the puck down, plays it up the right side for Provost. Provost, who's got a pair of goals in this hockey game. Maybe we'll have a hat trick today as Bolden now brings it back the other way. Bolden falls just inside the Montreal blue line, knocks Chartrand, skates out from underneath her as Chartrand plays it over to the near side. Here's Thibault. Clearing, Bolden sends it towards the goal, and it's kicked aside by Aron. Dumais now. Can't get it out. Cotterill into the slot. Wrist shot goes wide. As Provost has the puck on the near side, and she will clear it down the ice, and it will not go far enough for an icing call. Dominic Chiarello in the booth with us from Rocket Sports Dryer, and we'll get to him again in just a few moments' time as we continue with end-to-end action here as Bocchia tries to punch one into the net. Bette now passes it to her former CIS foe as a Martlet and a Stinger on the same line. Dumais, let's make a Caravan as well and make it an all RSEQ line out there. Tardif back in the line, left shot, takes the shot, tipped in front by Bocchia, but Ott, who has been stellar between the pipes today for Boston, once again goes down to the butterfly and makes the stop. So Dominic, if somebody wanted to get your equipment to help dry their equipment, is it accessible for anybody? Can you put this in your home? Does it have to stay in a locker room?
No, absolutely not. It's very portable. It has its own carrying bag. Takes a minute to take a couple minutes to set up and take down. So most kids actually take it with them when they play in a tournament, when they're playing multiple games. They set it up in the bathroom in the hotel room, and parents go for supper. By the time they get back from supper, equipment's dry back in the bag.
And if somebody wanted to purchase one of these dryers, because, as we know, when you go to a hockey tournament and you've got 3 or 4 games on a weekend, the bag stinks, the car stinks. You don't ever want to bring that equipment into your hotel room, but you have to try and dry it
Absolutely. Out. It's the only place.
Yeah, so how can somebody get this what would be a very valuable piece of equipment?
Well, we sell most of the major distributors in Canada, United States. In Canada, we're coast to coast with Source Sports stores. We're in Costco online. Hockey experts, sports experts, and the Forzani chain. So we're pretty much everywhere, and most of the major retailers in the United States online as well.
And how much does the dryer retail for?
On average, about $120.
Wow. For the sanity of the parents having a clean room to be in there. Oh, and actually our producer and camera person, Bank Nethery, says that he uses it 3 times a week, so there you go.
Well, it's funny because a lot of times people think it's just for the kids and for the tournaments, but even myself, I play 2-3 times a week, and I'm a goalie, and it's a lot of adult men and women that use the dryer as well.
Here's a chance in front. Deforge can't get the shot away as the puck was laying in her feet. It's poked over to the far corner. Completely understand why Marie Banks' wife would not want him bringing his equipment into the house. I've smelt his car after he's played hockey, and it's not fun. But that's it's better than drying it in the garage, that's for sure, because the humidity doesn't get out of the equipment. It just kind of slowly goes away, especially in the winter when it's cold.
A lot of different products, sport wash and a sport spray that kills bacteria on contact. So we're always trying to help keep the equipment smelling as good as possible, and drying it right after hockey helps the bacteria from growing, and that's what the smell comes from.
Well, Dominic Cwhl from Rocket Sports Dryer, thank you very much for stopping by today. We really appreciate you dropping in and your support of the CWHL.
Well, I appreciate it, and I enjoyed the third period with a play-by-play. It was even more better than watching it without you.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
It is 4-2, Montreal leading in the hockey game. We are 5 minutes to go in the third period as the Blades bring the puck in offside on the right wing side. So the Stars' next action is in 2 weeks' time when they host the Brampton Thunder on Saturday, January the 11th. It's an 8:30 start at l'Arena Saint-Louis in Saint-Dominique, and then on Sunday the 12th they will play at 12:30 against those same Thunder, but this time will be a part of a CIS-CWHL doubleheader at the Edmiger Arena on the campus of Concordia. Here's Provo going for the hat-trick, dishes off to Thibault, trying to get her first, and the backhand shot by Dupree goes just over the bar. Bolden now with the puck in her own zone, up the near side for Rambo. She can't clear. Thibault knocks it down. She'll feather it into the corner for Dupree. And now Thibault goes to the front of that. Here's the pass. Thibault in front. Backhand shot that did not connect. Thibault powers it in front. Provo scores! Hat-trick goal! Marie-Ève Provo, 5-2 Montreal. Goals number 5, 6, and 7 of the season for Marie-Ève Provo. The hat trick, I think she may just be the game's first star. 15 minutes and 42 seconds is the time of the hat trick goal. And with that, Montreal appears to be heading on their way to a 5-2 win in this game, or maybe more or less, but it looks like Montreal is going to skid away with a victory tonight. So 4 minutes to go in the third period, and it's 5-2 in favor of Montreal, thanks to the hat trick by Marie-Ève Provo. Wet's back in her own zone, as now Boston is really going to have to go for it here if they're going to try and mount a comeback in this hockey game. Thibault drawing an assist. Blais plays it up the right side. Here is Dumais. Dumais feathering it across for play, and the saucer pass just out of reach. Duparé from the left point takes the shot. It goes over to the far side. Dumais spun around there by Boston's Wolfweiler. And she will play it across ice, right side for Berman. Lindsay Berman, the captain, tries to play it in front for Dempsey, who has a goal today. And back the other way come the Stars. Bacchia gives it to Deforge. Fanny Deforge in on the left side, trying to cut towards the goal. She goes behind them, trying to wrap around, but the puck rolled off her stick, and Berman went low to block it. Deforge now comes up with it to Chartrand. Chartrand gives it back to Deforge into the slot. She can't get the shot away as she ran into a pair of Boston defenders, including Drew Burns, who took the puck away from her. Deforge in the corner, plays it out in front. Here's Dagenet. Dagenet protects the puck, plays it back to Chartrand, but she was being bothered there by Pickett, and Pickett's back the other way. Chartrand seals her off, and Carly Hill comes up with it. Hill ahead to Dagenet at center. 2:43 to go in the third period. 5-2 Montreal. Breton with a wrist shot and on goal. And making the save there is Ott. And she holds on for the whistle. As let's try and recap some of the scoring here in this third period, as it's been fast and furious. And we just wait for the our electronic score sheet to reactivate here. Have to love technology when it fails. There we go. A reminder, another game in the CWHL tonight. Brampton and Toronto getting underway in just a few minutes' time. And tomorrow night at 7:30, Brampton and Toronto will play the back end of a home-and-home series here on SSN. So a reminder to join us for that game. And the next Saturday night, the game of the week comes from Toronto, as Calgary, the Inferno, are the opponents against the Fury in that game. Here's Bette cutting in. Bette going to the goal. Bette poke check there by Ott, who then takes Bette's stick to the chops. But Bette and Burns go crashing into the goal behind Ott, and the net comes off its mooring. So we will face it off in the Boston zone with 2:05 to go in the third period. Let's recap the scoring that has occurred here in the third period. Cook scores at 3:41 to tie the game from Casey Pickett. Then Provo with her second of the game from Chartrand and Ann-Sophie Bette at 6 minutes on the power play. That makes it 3-2 for Montreal. Cassandra Dupree from Marie-Ève Provo and Dominique Thibault at 6:45, so 45 seconds later, makes it 4-2, and Provo completes the hat-trick. Thibault and Dupree at 15:42, and that's where we stand here with 2 minutes to play in the hockey game. Dupree dishes off to Tardif. Left point, takes the shot, tipped by Thibault over the glass and out of play. Boston's next home game is on January 18th and 19th when they host these same Stars. It's a two-game series. At 7:35, it's a puck drop on January 18th at Merrimack College, and then the next afternoon at 1:15, it's the start time against the Stars at Skate 3 Arena. Tickets are available at boston.cwhl.ca or at the CWHL store at cwha.ca. Puck is clear to the blue line, and it is settled down there by Lanes. She'll bring it in over the line, gives it to Cottrell. Cottrell into the slot, backhand shot, stopped by Aron. Second attempt, also stopped by the right pad of Aron. Wrist shot from the point there by Wolfweiler, and this time Aron will gather in the rebound and hold it with 1:15 to go in regulation time. Tomorrow, the Stars will participate, or four of the Stars will participate in the annual Provigo Habs Skills Challenge down at the Bell Center, a free practice in front of 20,000 fans. Bette will be in, Anne-Sophie Bette, and the captain, Cathy Chartrand, will be participating in the skills competition. Big hit in the neutral zone, and the back official will be calling it as Kelly Cook checks Camille Dumais. It's a cross-check in neutral ice with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in the game. Montreal 2 for 4 on the power play, so they are going to go back to the advantage here. late in regulation time. Davidson, Bette, and Provo up front. Cwhl up front. Provo on the back end with Bette and Davidson on the back end. As Coach Denis Brunet throwing out his top power play unit here late in regulation time with a 5-2 advantage. Davidson plays it down low. Bolden tries to hammer it out, but she is checked there astutely by Provo, who got the stick across and stopped here. Provo gives it to Davidson. DeBette down low, but it's broken up there by Bolden. And a chip pass ahead at center for Pickett is broken up there by Chartrand. Vinnie Davidson on the far side. Thibault brings it in offside. And an unsportsmanlike penalty coming up, a conduct penalty coming up here. I think it's to Boston, and it is Boston. Who's getting the penalty? It looks like it's going to be Drew Burns. So it is a 5-on-3 advantage here for the remainder of the hockey game unless Montreal scores. 32 seconds to go. Thibault, Davidson, Provo up front. Bette, Chartrand on the back end. Dempsey, Bolden, and Berman are the defenders, or is the PK unit out there for Boston. Berman takes it behind the net. She's sealed off there. Provo gives it to Davidson, plays it back up high for Chartrand. It's out of her reach. Coming out of the cage to play it is Errant. She'll play it up the near side. Turnover. Here's Berman coming in. Shorthanded. Takes a shot. Chartrand goes down low to block it with 10 seconds to go in the hockey game. Davidson up the left side for Bette. She's got Thibault going towards the goal. Gives it to Davidson. Davidson into the slot. Takes a shot. It goes off the leg of Bolden and wide. And Chartrand has a chance for the last shot of the game. She scores at the buzzer. It was deflected as the horn went. The referee says it's a good goal, and Montreal will win the hockey game 6-2. A power play goal as the buzzer goes. Now the referees are conversing to see if it's going to stand. Chartrand with the shot from the right point, and it was tipped in front of the net as time was expiring. So it's either a goal at 19:59 to make it 6-2, or it is a 5-2 victory if the officials rule that the puck did not cross the goal line before time expired. So we will wait a few moments. No goal. The referee has waved the goal off, saying that the horn had gone prior to the puck crossing the goal line. So Montreal with a 5-2 victory, extending their lead atop the CWHL. They now lead Boston by 3 points. With the win, Montreal improves to 7-1-1 on the campaign. Boston falls to 6-3. And these two teams will meet for a pair of games 2 weeks from now in Boston. Next week, the two teams are in action elsewhere. As next week, Brampton is here to take on Montreal. And actually, Boston is not playing next week, obviously, because they will be playing Montreal in 2 weeks' time in Massachusetts. So let's take a look at the scoring summary in today's 5-2 final for the Montreal Stars. The Stars open the scoring at the 9:02 mark of the first period. Stacey Tardif in the right wing faceoff circle with a blast just under the bar, taking a nice pass from Emmanuel Blais at 9:02 on the power play. It's 1-0 Montreal. Julian Dempsey ties the game up at 18:24 of period number one from Alyssa Wolfeiler. That was late in the period. That made it 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. The shots on goal in period number one favored Montreal 19-10. The second period, the lone goal of that stanza was Marie-Ève Provost, her first of the hockey game, fifth of the season at 1:34. The shots on goal in the second period, Montreal 14, Boston 5, two-period total for Montreal. That would make it 33, and Boston 15. The third period, lots of action. Boston ties the game up. Kelly Cook's first of the season from Casey Pickett at 3:41. But then a pair of goals 45 seconds apart. Marie-Ève Provost from Cathy Chartrand and Ann-Sophie Betté on the power play at the 6-minute marks gives Montreal a lead that they would not relinquish. Cassandra Dupree scores at 6:45. Provost and Thibault getting the helpers. And then Provost wraps up the scoring with her hat-trick goal, her 7th of the season from Dominique Thibault and Cassandra Dupree at 15:42. Shots on goal in the third period. Montreal 14, Boston 4 for a game total of 47 for Montreal, 19 for the Blades. Montreal was 2 for 4 on the power play. Actually make that 2 for 5 on the power play. And Boston was 0 for 2. Obviously, the first star of today's game is Marie-Ève Provost, who scored 3 times and also picked up, as I take a quick calculation here, picked up an assist. So 4 points in the hockey game. Dempsey the third star, Dupree the second star, and Provost is your game's first star in Montreal's 5-2 victory over the Boston Blades this evening on the CWHL Game of the Week here on SSN. A reminder that tomorrow evening we have a special Sunday night edition of the Game of the Week as Brampton hosts Toronto at 7:30 p.m. Join Nico Cardarelli for all the play-by-play action tomorrow night at 7:30 as Brampton hosts Toronto in the back end of a home-and-home series between those two squads. Their game tonight in Toronto is just underway, and we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard for you. And they have just dropped the puck literally a few moments ago. It is no score in that hockey game. And the back end of the home and home will be tomorrow night from Brampton. That's a 7:30 game here on SSN. And next Saturday night, Toronto hosts the Calgary Inferno. That also a 7:30 p.m. puck drop here on the CWHL Game of the Week. Nico Cardarelli with the call from Toronto. So the final score in tonight's game, it is Montreal 5, Boston 2. Montreal extends its lead to 3 points atop the standings in the CWHL. On behalf of our entire crew here in Montreal, Bank Nethery, our technical director, producer, and cameraman today, this is John Bauer reminding you the final score tonight is Montreal 5, Boston 2. We look forward to having you tune in tomorrow night for the next game of the week, and then, of course, a week from now when Calgary travels to Toronto to take on the Fury. And for all of your information about the Canadian Women's Hockey League in between games, make sure that you dial up www.cwhl.ca for all of the information on all the teams' results. And fans, if you're in the neighborhood for any of the games next week, please feel free to come out and see the teams, because this is one great hockey league. So on behalf of our entire SSN crew here in Montreal, this is John Bauer bidding you good night from the Centre Étienne Desmarteaux and la glace Caroline Ouellette.